Today we're going to be installing a part that I discussed the last time whenever I installed the switch panel, and that's some fog lights. And this is going to accommodate the hot glow ditch lights I installed not too long ago. This should finish out my lighting for at least a little bit. It's going to help with the upcoming trips on the fall drives in terms of off-roading and maybe some night trails. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't really know what I'm going to get into. I know there might be some drilling because this is an aftermarket kit. The trailbosses did not come with any fog lights. This kit is from Amazon. Link will be in the description below if you desire to purchase it. It is an affiliate link, so keep in mind if you click that link and you do purchase it, any purchase will help the channel grow, but I do appreciate that, but it is an affiliate link. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to pull this off because the Amazon kit replaces this and replaces it with a fog light. So I'm going to take this out, but I'm going to take it out from behind. So let's go ahead and remove the fender liner or pull it back, and it's a Torx T15 bit to do that. So y'all have seen me do this quite often or several times, remove these. These have been removed previously when they actually fixed my fender, where the fender, this side fender, was actually not straight with the door panel. So I think there might be one or two of these missing. I know there's one for sure, I can already see it. But I'm gonna remove as many of these from about right here downward, or actually from about right up here, if you can see it right here, downward, to give us enough room just to pull this fender liner back. Again, I don't think I'm gonna have to remove the wheels, the front wheels, because I think I can just pull it back enough and reach where I need to. And again, the truck's high enough to where I think I can run the wiring. Wiring options are going to be a little bit limited, but we'll discuss that when we get there. So let me remove these right quick and I'll come right back. We got that removed. As you can see, the liner is pulled back enough. I think it would probably be easier had I removed or had I actually taken the wheel off. But I'm going to try to throw you up in here right quick. I'm going to try to turn the camera if I can. Show you where I'm going to be working. Let me throw the camera up a little bit. So right there is where the fog light will be. This one right here, I don't know if I can reach it with my hand and the camera at the same time, but it's right here. So I'm trying to decide, the camera's moving around. Hold on. I'm trying to decide if it's gonna be easier to pull it out from the front with a plastic pry tool. I don't know if I don't want to damage it, but I think there's some clips here from behind and I can push it out with those clips. So give me just a second and I'll play around with it and I'll let you know which direction I go and how I go about it, since it's going to be kind of hard to have the camera and also my hand up there at the same time. But I do feel like it's going to be best to push it out from behind if I can figure out those clips, which it looks like there's some clips right behind it. Give me just 1 second. All right, that wasn't too bad. I hope you can see this. Let me see. There is a bottom clip. Let me lay it down on the ground so I can point at it. Let me put it somewhere in the shade for you this way so you can see it a little bit better maybe. Well, goodness, my shadow's in it. That doesn't matter anyways, guys. Let's make this real, I suppose. So right here, there's a clip right here. If you push out on it at the very bottom, first push it in and then out, it will actually come out very easy. And it's, as you can see, it's came out now. This is what you're left with. Your fog light, actually, it looks like there's some holes right here. I hope, right here and here, that the kit might actually, go in pretty easily. We're gonna give it a shot and see. Give me just a second. We're going to go ahead and get this fog light in here. And the wiring, well, we'll figure that out as we go. To add, there was actually 7 screws to T15. Hold on 1 second. There was 7 of these. Zoom in. There were 7 of these bolts screws that I took out, the T15 screws. I think there might have been 8. I think I was missing 2 or 3 out of mine on this side. I'll get you more of an accurate count. I'll get you more of an accurate count of the other side just so you have a general idea of what you're going to be working with. Again, if you want to remove your tire, you can. That's absolutely fine. That might actually be the best option to go if you feel more comfortable working in less close quarters. But let's go ahead and get this light in. Let's get the first one. I don't think there's a driver or passenger side. They're both universal. And I'll show you how I go about that. Some of y'all may know this is actually, the driver's side is going to be the left-hand side for this company, and the passenger side is going to be the right-hand side. Just wanted to clarify that. So left-hand side, you know, this is the actual new cover. And we're going to go ahead, and they include some new hardware right here. Right, there's the new hardware. I hope you can see that. So we're going to go ahead and put these clips in each one of these holes. There's 1, 2, 3. Put these clips in so you can actually screw the new fog light in. So let's go ahead and do that. So we got our clips in here. So we're going to place our fog light next. I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest. These clips are somewhat frustrating. Good thing though is there are these holes right here at the very top of each one of these, or at least on the 2 of them, that you can put these clips down in and it'll hold. Right here on the bottom, the same right there. But this one on the side, there is nothing to hold on to. So I did take some needle nose pliers. I'm trying to push down on it so to stay secure. I'm sure you can hold that in place while you screw in there and it'll be fine. But just keep that in mind. These aren't very tight. Once you put the screw in, they'll be absolutely okay. But just make sure you have some needle nose pliers or something handy. All right, so what we're gonna do next is feed this light up into the fender well and get it situated and get it screwed in. And make sure you have it aligned right, of course, which, I mean, this shouldn't be too bad at all. Just making sure I have the left-hand side one, which I do. So again, it goes to the back side. That one is going to be a pain, I think, just because of how it's positioned, but that's all right. We'll get the other 2 kind of started first. If I can. You have to use one hand to get one screw started, especially if doing this by yourself. That's okay though. May have to move right quick. Hold on one second. This is gonna be easier doing it with the other hand. Let me move the camera right quick. First screw myself. You actually have to put the screw from behind. That's fine. These are actually kind of short, so it's not gonna impede that whatsoever, where it's not going to make a mess or cause any problems. You kind of see, I'm just going to kind of give you an example of what it's going to look like. So that's what it's going to look like when it's covered. I'm not going to push it in. I'm going to wait to the very end to put the covers on, of course, when I get everything wired up. So next, we'll put this next bolt in here, next screw in. It's kind of tight behind here, of course, like I mentioned before, getting everything lined up. But that's the way working on vehicles is at times. Not everything goes as planned, but it's not too bad. Take your time with it and patience. So we got one side completely done, or one side not completely done, we got to wire it up, but we got one side in. Now we have to move to the passenger side and actually get it disconnected or get it taken apart. Which, since we know that there's about 7 of these, it shouldn't be too bad. There is 7 Torx bits, but I'm gonna have to start the truck up, I suppose, and move the tire outward like I had the other side, unless I wanted to jack this up, which I particularly don't want to have to. If I don't have to, I don't want to. So let me go and start the truck up, move the tire to the other side, and then we'll get started on the passenger side. Just one second. All right, so we got everything moved to the passenger side. Let's go ahead and get the Torx bits taken out of this one. I can get this cover pulled out, and then we'll get the other fog light put in. Just 1 second, I'll be right back. So we got the bolts out, we got the cover pulled back. So let's go ahead and get this piece taken out. If we can. It's a bit of a pain. Not too bad, there we go. And got it. All right, so let's go ahead and get our other fog light and get it put in. I'll be right back. Same process. Put your little metal clips in and then your fog lights. Seems like they're in the same places. First screw in there for the fog light like last time. Let's go ahead and try to get the other ones in. The top one's usually the rougher one, it seems like. It is nice that they have these mounting points in this bumper, because again, these are not, from my understanding, the trailboss does not have fog lights. Now the Z71 and the ZR2 do, but the trailboss does not. So I'm very surprised there's these holes built in here for this fog light. It's not to have to drill though. I'll take it. Okay, and then last one here. That one wasn't too bad. Now line the screwdriver up with it. Okay, oh well, almost had it. I think I'm on it. Yeah, I'm on it. Good deal. All right. Okay, it's in there. Okay, so what's left next is essentially wiring. As you've seen some of my other videos, hold on 1 sec. Well, before we continue, let me get the wiring and we'll go from there. Just 1 second. So have you seen in my other videos with the wiring? Essentially with the switch panels, you don't have to have all this, but they send it because a lot of people don't have a bunch of different wiring options. So this kit comes with everything. It comes with the switch, which, you know, we don't need that, so we're gonna toss it to the side. Don't need that. So this harness, it has, let's see, it's plug and play with those fog lights. Let's see what all it has. I have not unboxed it yet. It has a fuse. We won't need that if we can untangle all this mess. All we really need, well goodness, they have this tangled up. We'll get it though. They have a fuse. Looks like it's about a 15 amp fuse. It is, 15 amp. We won't need the relay. We won't need the part that goes to the battery. We won't need that. We won't need this. All we really need from this wiring harness is this. I might keep some of the wiring because I can cut it if necessary, but I also have some of my own wiring I can use to make this longer. I hope I don't have to, but we may need to get it to the switch panel. We'll see. But I'm gonna get some snips, snip this away because we don't need it. So it looks like all you have is a ground and a power and the harness, and that's all you need. So as mentioned, we don't need this stuff. We're gonna cut it right here as close as we can get to the relay so we can have as much wire as possible for the harness. There we go. And we can toss it. And we'll save it for later if we need it. But this is all we're gonna use. So let's go underneath the truck here and kind of see how we're gonna route this. I'm gonna start with the longer side So it'll be this side right here that we're gonna run from the driver's side to the passenger side and see exactly how we're gonna run it. I have this ZR2 skid plate. There's not really a good access point unless you take it off, and that's a pain. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to get up in the bumper and zip tie some of this just to kind of get out of the way so it won't get snagged. There might be some good points. I'll try to show you what way I actually run it if I do find a good way, and we'll just go from there. So guys, I've already got the lights wired from side to side. I have not wired it up here yet. So we're gonna do that together on the switch panel or the gain panel switch. So right here, I got the wire situated, kind of held in place because I'm gonna have to actually add some extra wire to make it reach from here to here. No big deal. So I'm gonna take you underneath the truck right quick and just kind of, if I can show you how I ran it. Now it's dark. I think the camera will pick it up. I ran it from, of course, the lot, and this is the passenger side. And I ran it across, there's a beam, a bumper beam. Let's see if I can get to it. I don't know, we're gonna try. Hold on one second, let's see if I can scoot in here and see where I can show you. There's a bumper beam right down there. Oh, let me move it there. I ran it across there, if you can see, all the way across to the other side. Okay, so I still have to clip the zip ties. So I ran the wire right there, up to the lot. And there it is. Now the other cord to the switch panel, there is a little hole. I don't know if the camera probably won't reach up there. It may. See if I can figure out a way to get you up there. It is actually up through here, guys. Up through here. And I was careful to avoid the radiator hose because that's gonna be hot. So I actually zip tied it to one of the grounding wires. So we came up here and this is where we ended up here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and strip these wires back and add some wire and then connect it to the switch panel and try to clean up some of this mess that I had from actually the hot glow ditch lights, and just make sure we have the switches working, the fog lights working, and I'll show you what it looks like. And of course, we'll do some night comparisons, show you what that looks like too. All right, so let's go ahead and get this wiring added to this section so we can get it hooked up. I did go ahead and zip tie this up so I could have it held in place because I did not want to have this drop back down into the wheel well or into the ground. Side note, I will say if you're doing this wiring, it's best to probably go ahead and do the wiring from the top or put it in from the top. Start with the short end, put the short end and all the wiring harness down from this side to the ground, and then run it across from the long end across. It would just be easier than fishing it up. But that's just a side note. Let's get this kind of taken care of and get started on this. So first get the zip tie off, and hopefully it does not fall back to the ground. I might try my best to just do it while it's held up like this. I think I have enough room to add the wire like this. Yep, let's just do that so we won't lose it. We'll start with the white wire. As I've told you all before, I hate wiring. It's not my favorite thing, but I've kind of gotten a little bit better at it here since I've been doing the lights on this truck. A little bit better anyways. Well, I've already, let's see. I'm gonna have to cut this off. Let me do this. I need to make these even anyways. And I messed up there, so we'll just go and clip this off all together, make this straight and level and even. There we go, that's even. I left a little hanging wire there. So keep in mind, one is your ground wire and the black wire is your ground wire and the white wire is your power on this one. So next we're gonna strip that sheath off the wire. Let's try to do this the right way, see what gauge it is, and commit to where we're wanting to cut or take the sheath off. Okay, right there is good. Sometimes it's easier than others. Depends on the wire. I usually just do one at a time to keep it cleaner. If I can keep it clean, sometimes it's hard to do that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get our added wire, the wire that we're going to add in. And I did keep the wiring harness that they sent with the actual sent with it because it matches. You know, it's white, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this wiring harness right here, or this wire, and we're just going to try to cut about the same amount of sheath off this one. See if I'm focused, because I can't see what I'm videoing. Okay, got that one. All right, so next we need some heat shrink, and we need some small heat shrink. That's what we need. We need the smallest one we can, or smaller, not smallest. And I will get that. And right here, that is. You have to cut it down to size. So that's about the right length almost, but a little bit smaller. I got this from Amazon, and this is actually some pretty decent heat shrink. I can post a link to it too, since you'll need it. If you don't have it already, it's relatively cheap than going to the auto parts store and buying it. It's quite expensive, and you don't get a lot at the auto parts store, to be honest. This stuff can be kind of hard to cut through. So you might waste some in the process. So make sure you cut it, cut through it entirely. Okay. And you will use a lighter, so I have that with me. And now you put your heat wrap on the longer side. It's just easier to deal with. Well, actually, first twist your wire. That makes it also easier to deal with. So then, put your heat shrink over that. Now take your wire, or you're getting the white wire, and twist that together. And you all this may be the wrong way, I don't know. This is the way I've done it. It's worked so far. Somebody out there can correct me, tell me I'm wrong, and that's fine. I'm no wiring expert. I've just done it to make it work. For me, good enough. And I tape it afterwards. I use some electrical tape. You have to be careful, because if you get the wrong size of heat shrink, it will go through and it's pointless. Gotta make sure it covers all the wire and it does not penetrate or puncture the heat shrink, or you'll have exposed wire. Okay. You want it to go about down midpoint. You want to feel that. Okay. Get that wire out of the way, and you get your lighter. The downside is this is kind of close. I mean, it's kind of close to that, and I have to use a lighter, but it is what it is. We're gonna make the best of it. Don't recommend this at home, maybe, I don't know. Be careful if you do it. I'd rather do it off the truck. Sometimes it's not an option. In this circumstance where we got it. Gonna make sure it closes up really nicely. And you can do the tug test on it, being that it won't pull loose. Okay, I think that's good. It's pretty good. And then what I'll do, like I said, I'll tape this up. I'm gonna put some electrical tape on it after I get done. We'll go around it, make sure there's no punctures on it. Now again, it is kind of black. It's part of using a lighter. It does not seem like it's damaged though. You gotta be careful not to get it too hot, but hot enough to melt that heat shrink. And it's good. Okay, that is the white one. It is done. We'll sturdy it with some electrical tape here in a second. Let's go ahead and get our black wire ready. Let's see where it went. It is, there it is. Move this out of the way as much as possible. Take the sheath off it. Got to be careful, make sure I'm wanting that, you know, a certain amount off of it. Don't want to take a ton. You want just enough. There we go. All right. Let's get our black wire. Okay, now this is the wire I had at my house. It might be a little thicker gauge, I'm not sure. I think it might be, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Let's make sure you can still see what I'm doing. Yep, maybe. So what I'm getting ready to do here, try to move you closer. I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Flip you around. Let's see if that'll work better. Put you maybe right here. Okay. That might, you should be able to see what I'm doing, hopefully. So again, I'm gonna twist the wire here. Pretty good. Start at the bottom as much as possible and then kind of just twist them together. If you can. There we go. Make sure it's twisted and nice. Well, I made a mistake. I did not get my heat shrink. My bad. Luckily, I think the wire is okay. Straighten it out as much as possible. Let me go get some heat shrink. My bad. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, now I got the heat shrink on the long end. Let's redo this. Okay, make sure it's nice and tight. Fold it over there a little bit. Put the heat shrink over. Now make sure again that you have all your wires in the heat shrink. Every one, or you will have a short. Okay, it's good, good. Okay, it seems like we got a good amount in there. Ideally, what I'm trying to do here is make sure that I don't get the white wire, because we already heated it up pretty good. We've got heat on it pretty nicely. Okay, we close that end. Okay, we close that in. Now let's try to get the middle just a little bit. Get that in just a little bit more. Got it. And there we go. Now what I'm gonna do is get some electrical tape. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this by cutting because now we have a longer wire. We don't have to worry about losing it down into the wheel well, which is nice, ideally. And then we can go ahead and, you know, electrical tape that section up. And now what's left really is to hook these up, hopefully, and that'll be it. You know, and it should work. Okay, good. Now let's thread these back through, because we don't need it through that. And then we'll electrical tape that up. The black wire is gonna be, the white wire is gonna be cut, but that's okay. All right, let's go ahead and get these electrical taped up and cleaned up some. And then I'll be right back, okay? Well, this was a bit of a pain last time, and I actually lost one of the posts. So I bought some new posts to go into a switch panel, and I got it fixed, luckily. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this, this sheath taken off the positive and the negative, and get it hooked up to a 15 amp fuse. So we'll start with the negative first, because the negative is what goes first. So let's get this sheath off. It shouldn't take much off of it to make it go in there nice. Okay, got it. So we'll bring that sheath up just a little bit, or the post up just a little bit, and stick it in there on the switch panel on the 15 amp fuse. And just a little bit this time. It doesn't have to come up very high. Made a mistake last time. It's in there good. Make sure it goes down good. Do a little tug test, it's good. Good deal. All right, so next we're gonna do the positive, which is your white wire. Take the sheath off it. A little bit more there. Well, don't know if we got enough that time. We're gonna see. That might be enough. We're gonna see if it'll pass the tug test on this. And if there's enough contact. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty sturdy in there. It's good. All right. So before we go ahead and put all this back together, I am going to put this back over here just right quick. Just move it kind of back out of the way and close this up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. Turn on the fog lights, or what should be the fog lights, the switch for it. And we're gonna do this together, okay? Just give me, all right. So the way this has wired up is there on that. Got to turn on some lights. Turn on the switch panel. Hopefully the wiring, this is not dead on me. I might have to plug it in. And it's dead. That's okay, I haven't used it much. recently. We will plug it in. Okay, now it is on. Good deal. As you can see, the lights are red. I'm gonna go ahead and push the button here. It's gonna be the hood, but it's actually now gonna be the fog lights. I'll have to relabel these. Okay, it should be on. Let's go see. There. All right, guys, got one, and we got two. Looks like we were successful in wiring that. Yep. So, let's go ahead and see if these covers fit while I'm with you. I think this is the left hand, that's the right side. Just clip it on in there. I do believe, I hope. I'm doing this one-handedly. Let me put you down right quick. I might need to use this two hands. Okay. I think you can see, I hope. Heard a click there. Heard another click. All right, it's clicked in. So there we go. That's what it looks like on the driver's side. All right, so that's what, when you push that button there where it says hood, which I'll fix all that, I'll relabel those. I'm gonna get this buttoned up and get the actual, I'm gonna get this buttoned up and get all the zip ties cut, and I'll show you some, maybe some B-roll at the very end, or at the very, probably at the very end of what this looks like. Also with the hot glow ditch lights, just all the lights, because this is basically what all the lights are going to look like at the very end. I'm not going to add any more right now.